something in me knows that. Like the intelligence in me knows that. It knows that everything in my life is happening for me. It's like almost like it was planned, like divinely ordained, preordained for me. And I sometimes don't know that because when something new happens in my life, for example, the next level, the next, phase of growth for me, just the next challenge that comes, it's always challenging for me because I get caught in it. I got lost in it, right? That's all it is. I got lost in it. And for a moment, I'm infuriated, or for a moment I'm aggravated. For a moment it's like, this is why, right? That's the question. Why? But actually, after that moment passes, or after a day, or hopefully not too long, then I recognize that too is life. That challenge that I didn't recognize, that too is life. It's just, and sometimes that challenge is just, of course, it's not going to look the way that I expect. It catches me by surprise. It catches me off guard. And the question arises again, like, how could this happen to me? And that's how you know it's the ego. It's just the mind, right? It's just another excuse, right? That the mind comes up like, how could this, like, think about it. It's like fighting the reality. It happened, right? And maybe I am the person for this thing to happen to me. Obviously, maybe I am, right? If it happened to me. So instead of asking how or why, right, which are like defense mechanisms of the mind, maybe I just accept, like, I am, I am that thing. I am that thing that has now been happening to me, for the last year and a half since I've been home. That interaction with my sibling or my family member where I keep butting heads. I am that thing. And when I accept that thing, really is when I have power to claim it, to power to actually change it. And that's how I grow. That's how we grow. And so life is constantly like realizing, oh my gosh, where am I giving my power away? Because by mistake, up until now, starting from when I was a child maybe, and I had to be a certain way from my mom or primary caregiver or whoever in your life, right? Or maybe something else happened in your life. You were in an abusive relationship or whatever. You were giving your power away. It caused you to give your power away. It distorted your truth. It distorted the lens through which you see and perceive, right? Yourself and the world and reality. And so now something is happening again for you to course correct, for you to clear that delusion from your eyes. And so that's why another pattern will show itself to you. A deeper pattern will show itself to you. And life is so kind in this way because as we're leveling up, right, the challenge just looks different. And it takes us by surprise. And we're always going to be, when that challenge shows itself to us, right, we're always going to get caught in it at first, right? We're always going to get caught in it. That's how you know, like, it's for me, because I got caught in it. I got triggered, I lost myself for a second. And that's the work of life, really. Like, because nobody stays here all the time. Nobody. All of us, right, are slipping out, slipping back in, course correcting all the time, even down to the level of thought, like every single thought. And if you've met people that are truly at peace or just joyful, right? Happy, as in you couldn't tell there's anything going on in their mind. That work that they've done is very similar to the work of somebody who's become extremely wealthy, right? From a life of a childhood of poverty. Somebody who's become extremely healthy from a lifetime of being unhealthy. It's the same work. It looks different, right? And very often when you meet people that are extremely joyful or extremely wealthy, it's because they've done that work, and it's because they've experienced the antithesis of that. Their life, their childhood, their upbringing, or their past was the exact opposite of that. And that's how you know, that's life working for me. And that's that flavor, that thing that I develop as a distaste, right? For that's really my thing. That's the way in which I shine. That's the gift in which I was meant to give. That's the person that I was meant to be. That's my highest contribution. That's how I see, right? That's my flavor of love. That's my flavor of life. And it's so beautiful that life works in this way. Like, truly, every single human being shines in a different way, in their unique way. And that way that they shine very often is the thing that that they truly, truly struggled. That was the hand of suffering in their life. And at any time, when we meet somebody extraordinary, when we even admire something about anybody, that we're like, that person stands out so much, it's because they did the work. It's because they did the work. It's very often never without having done that work. And that's why you meet extraordinary people, really beautiful people with just extremely difficult stories that you can't even imagine, that you wouldn't even know. They walk around like the story doesn't even exist. The billionaire walks around like he was never poor. And if he never said it, or if somebody Googled him and they didn't never found out, they would never know it. And that's just life. Like to transcend on that level, to transcend, to completely come out of the life that you knew, the person that you knew, the body that you knew, the mind that you knew, to completely come out of it. That's our potential as human beings. That's what's possible for us. And that's what's possible for each and every single one of us. And so if there's something in your life that literally has that flavor of distaste, that flavor of disgust, that flavor of repulse, that flavor of even hate, right? Like I despise, I just have a distaste for that thing in my life, right? It's like when I have that thought, I just, I turn my head. Or, when I find, I have $1 left in my bank account, like I won't even let it get there, right? Or if I find myself caring about, what my mom thinks, I don't, I just put that aside, like it just doesn't exist, right? In this way, we're constantly, we're constantly like refining and course correcting in our life. That's all it is. That's all of life. It's literally just sharpening us. It's developing the art of who we are, who we've already become. And we've come so far. Like some of us have come so far. And this life is really making something out of us. It's really making us into the kind of people, like I love comparing, like using the analogy of the Grand Canyon. Because that thing has been around for years. And literally every morsel of rain, every of wetness, every like breeze of the wind, every single gust, every single, movement of the earth has shaped it. And that's who we are. Life worked on the Grand Canyon. Life shaped the Grand Canyon, not you or I. And all of us are like the Grand Canyon. We all are being constantly chiseled away at, worked away at. Every breeze, every drop of rain, every, avalanche, the big things in our life, but even down to like the nitty gritty, every single moment, life is working on us. And because it really is the moments, right? Something big could happen and years after that, decades after that, I'm still working on that thing, right? That thing has become my life in very many ways, like the loss of a parent or a traumatic illness or, anything in my life that was it was excruciating. It was the most difficult thing, I could never imagine that thing. And it happened and I'm working through it. And we become the product and the result and the art ultimately from that thing, from those things, from every single moment now, from all of life now, from every interaction, from every encounter, from every moment, from every experience, everything, always everything. And we don't have to surrender, right? We don't have to surrender. We don't have to give up, right? And we don't have to believe that we ever have reached an end, because the Grand Canyon is going to stand there as long as it stands there. And life very much is the same way for you or I, And sometimes you really get curious, like, okay, since life is about letting go of all of my control, if I really let go of my control, then what would happen? Right? Because the Grand Canyon has no control. It's just, it's just sitting there. It's not fighting the slightest breeze. It's not saying, it's not shielding itself even from a drop of the monsoon. It's not, if there is one. And so if I surrender my control over myself, over my life, what happens, and who can I become? And I think life constantly is trying to get us to surrender. Constantly it's trying to get us to surrender. It just wants us to give up, right? It does. And not the way that you imagine giving up, right? It wants you to give up the control that you have, because it was never real, because the control is never real. The illusion was never real. And you're fighting for it out of fear. You're fighting for it because you fought for it since you were a child, since your nervous system was wired that way, or your brain became wired that way, and it's not true. You're fighting for something that is not true. And every moment now is a test for you to come clear in that truth and what that truth is and life really is. It's constantly sharpening you, right? It's like, what's that truth for me? And how can I stand in? How can I be it? And where is it? Where am I going wrong? Where am I making a mistake? And can I see it? Really, can I see it? And if your heart is earnest, like literally, if you're just on the pursuit of truth, and we all are, right? It just looks a million different ways. Whatever that pursuit is for you, right? Even if you're becoming, the best at a sport, within you, it's still it's the pursuit of truth. It's still the same thing. Because to become the best at something, you have to encounter the lie in yourself, the lies in yourself that ultimately you keep believing that keep you from not being the best at that thing, from not being the best, period, from not being great. So everybody on their journey is going to encounter the lies in themselves, right? The misbeliefs, the limiting beliefs, the things, the ways and the different thoughts that are just masquerading as I'm not good enough, or I'm not loved, or, whatever it is. Something about me that's not true. And maybe it's a story that I once told because I had to, right? It was my brain's way of coping, or, with coping with reality, or it's like, the story is an attempt to gain control. And once upon a time I told it. And now I realize I can't tell it anymore. Now I realize it's not for me. It's not the thing for me anymore. And I'm being very serious and very sincere in every moment that I realize, oh my gosh, I don't want to believe it anymore. I can't believe it anymore. My brain is wired this way. And I realize I'm every time it comes up for me, I'm just going to turn my head. I'm just going to turn my head. I'm just going to turn my head. I'm going to look the other way. And it's very much in this way that connection falls away, right? There's almost like a distaste that develops for it. And in that distaste, right, we turn our head, turn our head, turn our head, turn our head. And life is very much in this way. You'll see like the ways in which I don't approve, I don't like, right? I don't like those negative thoughts. I don't like them, right? I'm going to become so refined in the state that I prefer to be in the peace and the clarity and the emptiness of my mind, that I'm going to keep turning my head. I'm going to keep turning my head. I'm going to keep turning my head. And in this way, right, I'm going to develop a reverence for the thing that I love. And it's really just from it's from a disreverence. It's from a disreverence for the thing that I don't love. I'm not going to question myself anymore. Right? If you're somebody that you've gone through your life and you're like, oh my gosh, I just questioned myself. I doubted myself my whole life. A point comes where you realize I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore, because it's just a distaste for it. It's just a distaste. And we all develop a distaste for something in our life, right? I'm not going to sit around anymore. I'm not going to have a dirty house anymore. I'm not going to be broke anymore. I'm not going to, not be loving anymore. I'm not going to have a bad relationship anymore. I'm not going to eat bad food anymore. I'm not going to, eat, not tasty food anymore, bland food anymore. Like whatever it is, it could be anything. We just develop a distaste for it, right? And out of the distaste for it, it's like, I just, I want to enjoy life. I have a preference now. And that's all it is. And when you really align with your truth and the state that you're supposed to be in, the direction in which your heart is really calling you, and you align more and more with your potential in each moment, then life is really, it's sublime. It becomes a shape that you never even imagined. You never even thought existed. because you let go of control. You let yourself just be free. You let yourself reign free, right? Without the reins. And life just wants you to know, wants you to see your potential. And you are life, right? Something in you, your being already knows. Your being already knows. And it's designed for you to pursue life. It's designed for you to be your potential. And so when you exercise that potential, and the more and more better that you get at that potential, the more and more free you become in that potential. You see, like, my being loves this. My being enjoys this. I enjoy peace. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy, climbing. I enjoy playing basketball. I enjoy being a plastic surgeon. I enjoy being with my family. I enjoy working on cars. I enjoy being wealthy. I enjoy, spending my time working. I enjoy. It comes from a place of love. That's my potential. My potential always comes from a place of love. It always comes from a place of love. That's how you know it's my potential. That's how you know it's my truth. Because anything else that's not coming from here is literally from a place of fear. And when I'm in the place of fear, I feel it right away, because I can see the contrast. I've experienced the contrast enough where I'm like, oh my God, that's my potential. When I'm here, I could be a millimeter off, and I realize, oh my gosh, that's fear. That's the lie. That's the mistruth. Because now I've experienced this, and I know this, right? And life kind of is like moving, right? Your potential just keeps increasing. And then the thing right before it, a millimeter to the side, right? A millimeter to my left or your right? Becomes the lie. And that's just life. That's how it works. And so you honor that every moment. You honor that, right? And I exercise my potential more. I do the thing that I love more. I let myself go more. I let control go more and more until there's no end, until there's no cap. Because my potential increases, and my capacity increases, and my standard increases too, right? What I want to experience increases too, right? So if yesterday I was speaking here and today I'm speaking here, right? I know, right? This is where I want to be. And then the next day, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. And it's that way with money. It's that way with health. It's that way with joy. It's that way with love. It's that way with peace. It's that way with relationships. It's that way with everything in our life. This is our potential. And everything in life, constantly, every single moment, we're gaining potential. Every single moment, we're gaining our potential, like we're increasing our potential. And yes, we are gaining potential. And it's so valuable to know that, because life only has one purpose for you. And the way that quantum physics works, the way that the universe works, the way that law of attraction, everything, the way that energy and matter works is that everything is constantly expanding. Everything is constantly expanding. Your life is it's an expansion, and there is no end to that expansion. And when you truly realize that, and you're in tune, like you're somebody that's exercising your potential, you're on the pursuit of your potential. Which could be, you said, I'm on the pursuit of truth, right? Truth and potential are the same. If you're on that journey, right? You're exercising it, and you're going to find out, oh my gosh, it keeps increasing. And I keep growing. I keep getting better. And the challenges also can become more difficult too, right? But then the more you work on anything in your life, right, the more, in a sense, it also gets easier. And that's what's remarkable about life. It's like it's getting easier and more difficult at the same time. And maybe as you fine tune, right, the work that you've done here is now easier, right? Like this little jump here, this increment is easier, right? But maybe the next level is harder. Who knows, right? And so life is just, it's magnanimous in this way. We can't really understand it. We can't really figure it out. But this is our potential. And sometimes when we reach our new potential, we really can't believe, like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking at 2 times the speed than I was in the first 15 minutes of this video, right? We can't believe it, but that's our potential. And we know it because when we are exercising our potential, our mind is calm, right? It's like we know it, our being knows. And up until now, it's like the fear that was keeping me from exercising my potential, I've let it go. Because I let go of control. I let go of the fear that was worried about what I was going to say or what words I was going to use. Or maybe it was the same thing that I thought about yesterday. And maybe I copied it from a video that I watched. All different fears that are just fear at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter. Right? We see on my way to my potential, none of that matters. No fear matters. And there's infinite possibility here. My potential is infinite possibility. I can be, say, and do anything, even copy, right? Even whatever fear that I had over here. And that's, you realize all of life is really encompassed in this, right? All of life is allowed. All of life exists in your potential. And this is when you truly become free. You become like a bird with wings. And And then you realize, oh my gosh, this is what I want. I just want to stay here. I want to stay at this pace. I want to stay at this level. I want to stay at this speed of speaking. I want to stay at this speed of life because I love this so much, because it feels so good to my being. And when you truly, the more and more you experience this, when you truly love something, right? We're not saying, oh, I like that person, I'm going to go, I'm going to, maybe I'll text them, No, not like that. When you truly love something, you give your life for it. You give your life for it. And that's it. Like every single moment, every single moment, every single moment. I'm only thinking about this. I'm only thinking about this. And my being loves this so much. My body loves this so much that it's going to make me do this, even if I don't feel like it, right? As soon as I do this thing, I'm going to feel wonderful. I'm going to feel at home. I'm going to feel at home in my body. I'm going to feel at home in life. I'm going to feel good about life. And we know that whatever we touch, anything that we do in life, our state determines that right away. Right? So if I'm in a good state, whatever I touch, whoever I speak to, whatever activity, whatever, customer service call that I have, whatever bill that I pay that day, whatever, that process will be enjoyable. It'll be divine. But I have to get to myself to that state. And I've learned, I enjoy things, I enjoy customer service calls when I'm in a better state. I enjoy, certain things when I'm in a better state. We all do. And so life really is this game of trying to figure out, oh my gosh, the things that I have to do that maybe I don't enjoy so much, right? Or forget that, but how do I get myself to the state where I can enjoy everything that I gotta do? I can enjoy cleaning the toilet if I don't like that. I can enjoy everything. I can enjoy changing the diaper. And that's really the game that we're playing. I can enjoy being broke, right? And because as I enjoy being broke, I'm gonna be on my way more to wealth, and my potential for wealth will even increase, right? If I'm no longer holding on to being broke, right? If I no longer am seeking control, or if I'm no longer feeling miserable, my potential will actually be increased. How do I feel better about speaking, right? How do I feel better about stuttering or using the same words or copying something else, whatever fears that I have, right? How do I let go of that control? Because when I do the thing, as I let go of those fears, right, I actually excel. I actually rise in my potential. And it's almost like I reached just a whole different level in just a second of letting go, right? In just a second of letting go. Like literally that's what's happened in this video, a few minutes ago, a second of letting go. And so the game is, right? How do I let go? How do I let go of the fears? How do I let go? And it's almost like a jump, right? A momentary jump, just a slight jump in our perception, a slight jump in, in letting go of control. Really, like it takes us to like a whole different height, a whole different level. And that's all we need to know. That's all we need to know, and that's all we need to do. Like every moment I'm with this. Every moment I'm with this. Every moment I'm with this. Every moment I'm with this, right? I love the thing so much, and I do it over and over again. I love the thing so much, and I do it over and over again. I love the thing so much, and I do it over and over again. And if you're a rapper, right, or if you love to speak, right, and you experience like almost like Tourette's, it's like all day, like there's things coming out of your mouth. Or if you love to speak and you find yourself talking to yourself all day, it's part of the love. This is what people don't understand. It's part of the love. It would make sense if you love to do something, or if you love to dance. Of course, you're gonna be shaking you're gonna be shaking your butt from the time that you wake up, right? You're just gonna be like just moving all the time, like just randomly throughout the day, because you love that thing. Your being loves that thing, right? It's not for you to decide, when you don't do it. Your being just loves it, right? So the goal is to just surrender full control and let your being do it whenever it wants to do it and however it wants to do it, right? And that if you have significant output in something, right? Like let's say you love to do something, you're going to have significant output in it, as in you're going to be doing that thing all the time, and you're going to have a wide variety, like a diversity of output too, right? So for example, right, if you love to speak, you're going to be speaking in all different ways, right? You're going to be speaking like a professional. You're going to be speaking like a really silly person sometimes with your loved one. You're going to have all this different kind of output. Or if you just really love to use your voice, or even in the example of singing, right? I love to sing. And sometimes I'm singing like a professional singer. Other times I'm singing like, really off key, really off tune. Other times I'm singing like Fräulein Maria. Other times I'm singing, I have a wide variety of output. Other times I'm just singing, because instead of having conversation with my mom, like I'll just sing one line, right? Like there's so many variables in the output, right? And how it actually comes out. There's so many ways that it comes out. And so life really is, like it's the freedom of that and allowing yourself to truly shine, because your potential really isn't just one way, right? Even in that one art and that one craft, you're going to experience the wide variety. And that's also true with wealth, right? You're when you really love something, you're going to have your hands in all different things, all different companies, all different kinds of ventures, all different kinds of sources of income, right? That's love. And that's when you allow yourself to be free. You free up the fear, because your potential is just, your potential is ever increasing. And it's such a joy to even like to think about this stuff, to talk about it, right? And then to pursue it, right? And now you get excited in your own life, on your own journey, like, oh my gosh, I realize that's my potential. Like, I know at any moment, like just a subtle grip, right? That we let go of, right? In just a moment, just even this most subtle grip, right? The subtle grip of control, let go of it, right? Let's see where I could be. Subtle grip of control, let go of it, see where I could be. Subtle grip of control. And literally where you can be like 10 times where you were just before. Especially if you have ADHD, right? And or you're autistic, or you see like, oh my gosh, my speed at this thing, my potential is so much more greater than I thought. And my only mistake was I was speaking too slow, right? I wasn't actually, because the fear was actually keeping me small. It was keeping me slow, or I was moving too slow, or I wasn't exercising enough power. And when I actually hit that point of power for me, in what my potential is right now, then my whole being is calm, my whole body is calm, and I love and I love and I love and I love, and I don't have to worry about the image of me, the image that I have of myself, because it's just fear-based. Right? I don't have to worry about whatever fears I have in this mind, because it's just fear-based. And maybe I'm supposed to be the person. Maybe I don't need to know what kind of person I'm supposed to be. Maybe I don't need to know what kind of financial investor I'm supposed to be. Maybe I don't need to know what kind of wealth manager I need to be, or manager of money that I need to be. Just personally, just individually. Maybe I don't need to know that. Maybe I just let myself go free. And maybe life is doing that for me. It's trying to maybe it's doing that for me. And I can just let myself be free. I can 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 let myself be free. And you see how that freedom really comes through. It's just, there's no end for that freedom. It's like, that's what you were born to do. That's what you were meant to do. And your whole life, you've been avoiding your potential, kind of restricting your potential. You've been suppressing your potential. And so what happens is this whole time you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't been happy. I haven't been living my life. And when I'm only happy when I'm exercising my potential. I'm only calm when I'm exercising my potential. I'm only at peace when I'm exercising my potential. My being truly loves when I'm at my potential, right? It's truly it's vibrating when I'm at my potential. And so, it's this game that we're kind of all living in our life. It's like, how do I reach my potential all the time? How do I reach my potential? My potential isn't on the same vibration and the same frequency as thinking. It's not. It's on a different wavelength. And if you can find that, right, if you can know that, because sometimes there'll be a tendency of the mind to go via thought, to go the route of thought. And very quickly, right, you're gonna course correct yourself right away, and it's like a different center. Right? It's a different center in your being that is truly in line with your potential. And if you go a little bit this way, you're going to go to your mind. You can actually experience that energetically. And I'm actually experiencing that as I speak. And I know other people, right? It's the same thing. In your mind, you're going to experience that, right? If you fine tune enough, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, my potential state is right here. And I'm actually operating right here. And this is where I shouldn't be, right? This is not where I should be. I should be right here. And the tendency is, right, because you're going to go over here, right? Because your fear is going to take you over here. And all you have to do is just come back here, come back here, come back here. You'll know, because it's the highest thing that you've accessed. It's the most free that you've been. It's the most fluid. It's the most overflowing. It's the fastest. It's the speed that you've accessed so far that you realize, oh my gosh, there's actually no thought here. There's actually no me here. And I actually can't experience time here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know that I'm here when I'm speaking. When I'm in, I'm at this pace. I'm at this speed. I don't actually know that I'm speaking. I actually don't know that I'm here speaking. And when we lose sense of time, that's life. That's the essence of our being, right? Because we're actually not thinking. And flow state is not something that we attain through thinking. It's just not, the frequency of the mind is just completely different. And sometimes in life, what we have to do is we have to play through it, right? We have to experience the frequency of the mind, the experience of the mind, the outcome, right? When we do something via the mind, we have to experience that so that we know, oh my gosh, okay, that's that, right? And my potential, actually flow state, is actually when I let go of my mind. And that's what's so beautiful about life. It's like the greatest secret of life is beyond the mind. It's not where the mind is. It can't be found where the mind is. So your job on a daily basis, right, is to find your potential, which is not operating through your mind, the flow state that is not operating through your mind, right? Find the task that is not operating through your mind. Go about your day in the way that's not operating in your mind, right? Because your mind will try to play. It just, that's its job. Its job, energetically, your whole life has been keeping you safe. And so the more and more that you just realize, oh my gosh, you have the experience of the contrast now, right? So you're going to stay here. 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 And you're only going to get even more and more in flow state. You're only going to attain more and more flow state. Not just the activity, not just in the activity or the task, but in every single moment in your life. That's your one job. You're being fine-tuned. You're being course corrected constantly. I love you so much. And I hope this was helpful to you. I'll see you in the next video.